Dear Diary, my sleepover is going to be next Friday. I can hardly wait. Alice and Flora and Felicity are definitely coming. We'll camp out in my room, and we can whisper and tell secrets all night. Oh, and Alice and I are thinking up crazy games, and we'll make our own special pizzas for our midnight feast. My parents won't mind at all, I said. They'll be fast asleep. Dear Diary, today Miss Lily announced that auditions for the Snow White Ballet would be on Saturday morning. Oops, I whispered to Alice. That's the morning after my sleepover. I expect you all here at 9 o'clock. On the dot, said Miss Lily. What if someone's late? Asked Priscilla, smiling in her usual icky way. Ballerinas have to be on time, said Miss Lily, or they won't be able to dance. Uh-oh, I whispered to Alice. Ooh, Angelina's got a problem, snickered Penelope. No, I haven't, I snapped. Doesn't that seem awfully early for auditions? Asked Alice, as we skipped home after our ballet lesson. Yes, I agreed. We'll need lots of alarm clocks. Good idea, said Alice. Then we can stay up as late as we like. Definitely, I agreed. Dear Diary, I can hardly believe I'm having a sleepover and dancing in Snow White. My life is just so exciting. Last night I couldn't sleep a wink. I watched the stars twinkling in the sky forever, but I still wasn't the least bit tired, so I danced around my room to calm myself down. Of course, I tried to be extra quiet, but somehow my toy shelf broke while I was practicing pirouettes. Oops! It crashed to the floor and made a horrible racket. Because I am a very responsible mouseling, I picked up all the books and toys by myself, but then Dad came in looking very, very mad. Angelina, if you dance all night long, I'll have to call Miss Lily tomorrow and cancel ballet lessons, he said. So I scampered into bed. My heart was absolutely aching. How unfair would that be? Dear Diary, today was a great day. Mom and I went to Mrs. Thimble's shop and bought tons of cheddar burgers and peanutty passion ice cream and cheesy chips and really, truly yummy things to make pizza with. Of course, Mom always wants us to have healthy snacks like carrots and celery and raisins and nuts. Please, can we buy lots of candy? I begged. Don't worry, Angelina, Mom said. There'll be plenty of parsnip turnip cake. Ugh, I don't think Alice will like that idea very much, even if Mom puts chocolate icing on it. Mrs. Thimble was really impressed by all our shopping. I'm having my very first sleepover, I told Mrs. Thimble proudly. It looks as if you've invited the whole village, joked Mrs. Thimble. She gave me a super mouse. She gave me a sugar mouse, scrumptious, and we all waved goodbye. Dear Diary, today I went back to Mrs. Thimble's shop with Alice. Mrs. Thimble looked a bit surprised. Alice and I put all our saved-up pennies on the counter, and luckily we had enough for some very yummy goodies. Yippee! We bought all our tip-top favorites to share with Flora and Felicity. It is definitely the best candy collection ever. 8 cheddar mints, 4 mousy pops, 16 licorice whiskers, 8 chocolate mouse tails, 12 squeaky sweets. We were running out of pennies, but we still had enough for a few more. 4 sugar mice, 12 cherry berries, and then we counted out our last pennies for 4 expensive blue cheese fizzies. Mrs. Thimble put all of our candy in a plain brown bag. It's going to be the best sleepover ever, we told her. I hope you won't have too many tummy aches, said Mrs. Thimble. Ha ha ha, another joke. Then she gave us each a chewy cheese chalk. I just love Mrs. Thimble. Alice and I scampered home, and hid the candy package under my bed. Stupendous! Dear Diary, I've been practicing so hard for the Snow White auditions, and I do my ballet exercises every single day. I will definitely love being Snow White and dancing with the handsome prince at the front of the stage. Today, Miss Lily said, "Good work, Angelina. I'm sure you'll be one of the stars of our production." Secretly, I think Miss Lily wants me to be Snow White, too. Yippee! I was so happy. I did 3 completely perfect arabesques. Priscilla called me a show-off. What a nerve! That Henry Mouseling is so annoying. He always comes to ballet lessons, and now Miss Lily has decided he can come to the auditions, too. Henry would be simply adorable in Snow White, said Miss Lily with a sigh. Can you imagine? Henry is the worst ballet dancer ever. Dear Diary, today at ballet school, Miss Lily was in such a strict mood. Everyone needs to have a good rest before the auditions on Saturday, she said. Of course, Priscilla and Penelope smiled their ickiest smiles at her. We'll be going to bed very early, Miss Lily, they said ever so sweetly. They are such fibbers. And you, Angelina? Miss Lily asked. Why did she pick on me? Oh, I always get up very early, I said, which is mostly true. I wish I could tell Miss Lily all about my sleepover, but she just wouldn't understand. Flora, Felicity, and Alice were staring very hard at their ballet slippers. Good, said Miss Lily. I'll see you all here bright and early on Saturday morning. Dear Diary, tonight's the night. I can hardly wait. I was so responsible. I set the table and helped Mom make the parsnip turnip cake. It's not so bad, really, if you like parsnips or turnips, but I hate them. I reminded Mom that Polly needs to have an extra early bedtime tonight. Be a good big sister and let Polly join your party for a little while, said Mom. Sometimes being a big sister is very difficult. P.S. The worst news is this. My cousin Henry is trying to sneak into my sleepover. Mom says Aunt Lavender has an emergency and Henry is just coming to play. Play? I can't stand it. I cried buckets and buckets. Mom said I had to learn that things don't always turn out the way I want them to. That made me feel even worse. Thank goodness Alice arrived. I told her the terrible news. Don't worry, Henry. Don't worry. Henry will fall asleep hours before we do, said Alice. He's definitely too young for a real grown-up sleepover, I agreed. I'm starving, Alice said. Where's all the food? We decided we needed a little snack, so we had some cheesy chips, cheesy popcorn, cheese and chocolate, cookies, cheese puffs, and cheddar cheese sandwiches. We even ate a few carrots and raisins. After that, I felt a teeny bit better. Alice and I blew up pink balloons, my favorite color, and decorated the whole cottage with pink and purple streamers. Dad came home and said it looked as if the circus was in town.